Hello, everybody. So, right now, for myself, is a void. This camera angle, by the way, don't mind the camera angle. It's strange. I cannot find my tripod. And so I've got my phone on the back of a crystal, and like, it's cool the way, I don't know, but it's just, it feels weird looking down upon I like the whole eye to eye. I don't like the whole hierarchical thing, so just bear with me here. Perspective is everything, guys. Perspective is everything. Change your lenses, change your views. So right now is very much so a void in my own life, and a moment to review and to reflect. And moments of review, sometimes we have these reviews where our teams come in, right? And they station and kind of come in and, you review your life. But this is more of a self-reflective void. And it's just one of those things that's, it's felt a little stale. Like the energy right now is a little backed up in my rig. And I have just no ability to move anything right now. I cannot move any mountains, but just be while I rebuild. So I figured I would do a Voices from the Void. Just a brief one. Note I say brief, but watch, this could be a 45-minute video. And so this is Voices from the Void, round 2. And there was some titles that came up. And the first one that came up was called Stereotyping Generosity, and how we view generosity in the world, and how we view what it is to be generous, and it really is now about this focus of like internal generosity and what it means to be generous to self, abundant to self, loving to self, kind to self. And just like another layer of depth and of deepening what that process looks like and what it entails. And for myself, the sense of this review right now is about what would it take to be able to accomplish all of those generous things that you need to provide for self. And in that review is a moment to like tweak a little bit the algorithm of my own life and my own wants, needs, desires, and like getting very real with what I'm frustrated with in my life and like what I can do to change it. It's very much so, rather than going into grieving and like, oh, I don't have this, it's a little bit more action oriented. And it really is about, so here's these things you don't like, right? Now, like, get up and freaking do them, right? Like, move something. And like that remembrance of that giant essence of what it is to have that gigantic magic to move, to get things done, to begin realigning your reality, because it does take action at some level. And it's interesting I'm saying that because here's 3 of Pentacles with the mountain. Very much so like this giant restructuring right now of like hips and root, hips, root, sacral kind of, and you could see yourself as this giant force, giant mountain, and this whole like womb restructuring that's occurring in my own life, which ties into the video yesterday. So I just want to take a moment to pull some cards. I want to first off thank my universe, my God, my guardians, my higher self, as we welcome in light into this sacred space, and we come back into the deep knowing, the deep reverence, and the deep respect for our own process as we bring forward voices from the void. So this message might just be a personal message, so if it resonates, please take it. If not, accept it. Free will, right? Freedom, free will, autonomy, and sovereignty. All right, how many shuffles do we need? 5. Okay. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and things that we have to say hi to Mother Earth while we're here. Hi, Mother Earth. How's it going? How's it going, sweetie? Thank you so much. What wants to come out first? So this is Father of Wands in reverse. So this to me is very much so seeing this as removing a layer of snake skin right now. This is another form of transformation or a death and rebirth. The song that came through earlier was Butterflies by Johnny Stimson, I think it is. And it's basically a song about transformation, about going into the chrysalis. This to me right now is very much so resembling about going within and dissolving the layers and aspects of self that no longer serve this new that you're embodying and calling forward, right? This is a release of toxic masculinity and just a release of toxins itself. There's been a lot of, like, through the airwave chatter, a lot of discussion about poison and toxicity, right? And we're seeing this, like, there's a lot of discussion about cleaning up pollution in the environment, cleaning up the waterways, you know, the whole, I think toxins and poisons are up right now for us, and I hear it, because as soon as we recognize in our own internal lives, because this does kind of bleed into the collective a little bit, the collective experience, is the more that we clean up our toxicity and our pollution from our lives, the more that's going to begin to shift the collective trajectory of what we've all been encountering through 2020 and 2021 and everything that we're involving. And so this is a moment to take a look at nasty habits, right? Where are you barking and biting instead of singing? Where are you playing in remorse and guilt rather than playing with Gaia? Where are you making conscious choice to separate you from everything that you love rather than embracing all the beautiful, wonderful gifts and heart-centered expression that's coming your way? Where do you still feel like you need to protect yourself rather than standing guardian of your own life and standing guardian of Gaia and of others? Where are you still playing the role of the victim when you are the role of that, when it's actually coming into that role of the conscious creator? Being mindful of thoughts, words, concepts, beliefs, what you're projecting out into the field, what you're saying, what you're speaking, so mote it be, you know, it's like very, where are you regurgitating your essence over and over and looping rather than allowing a natural evolution cycle of your essence to take place? So natural evolution of the essence comes through when we begin to resign ourselves from that which we have outgrown to step into a new energetic environment, into a whole new room, into a whole new avenue, to allow yourself that generous curiosity to find out something new. This is really, to me, in the stages of evolution, noting when you've maxed out, right? Like when you've basically, all credits have been earned in that classroom and it's time to step into a whole new room, into a whole new classroom, right? That's the evolution of Earth School. And if you feel that stagnancy or that stuck feeling, maybe it's time to get better acquainted with new ideologies, new belief systems, or something new that begins to spark that curiosity in your life. For myself, I'm a Sag moon. So since I'm a Sag moon, I get bored really quickly. And so I always have to keep things shifting, moving, and transforming. And maybe this transformation for ourselves, it's not only the internal process, but it's beginning to move different, move into a new direction, move into a new landscape, move into a new hope. It's interesting, I'm getting a new hope, which is very much so makes you think of Star Wars. And maybe there's a new hope that's coming for us through this revelation of void, to begin to recognize how beautiful it is to be loved by ourselves, right? Like, because I'm hearing how sweet it is to be loved by you. And so taking stock too of where you are, where it's so much easier to love others, but then when it comes to turning that voice inward and turning the direction of that energetic back towards self, where there might be resistance or blocks. This is really, to me too, coming through about focusing on self-care. self-reliance and independence versus interdependence, right? And it really depends upon your patterning, right? Like if you're like a radically independent individual, maybe it's time to become a little bit interdependent, right? Like to allow community in. If you're someone who's always relying on community, maybe it's time to go a little bit more independent, right? And it's really about taking stock of it's taking stock of who you are, where you're at on your journey, and beginning to begin to make that shift and that change, to propel forward. You know, this to me, once again, with the red and the orange, is really the rise of this Kundalini energy, the rise of our sacred power, and the rise of our creative essence, which could feel very much so like sexual energy. And I've noticed that one popping up a lot. And then the review point is to begin to restructure and see it in a new way. And to begin to recognize like this is creative healing energy, and how can I use that energy to embody it versus just expel it from our world, right? Expel it from our life path. So let's see here. Ace of Wands in reverse. This is that new hope. Once again, when I see it, it's a whole new hope, but it's in reverse. So for me, this is about going within and finding that new hope for yourself, right? What sparks your creativity? What sparks your passion? Where is your magic? Where's your magic? And how can you begin to bring that magic forward into the world? This is the acknowledging the essence that exists within you, that burns brighter than anything you've ever found. And you'll know when you find out what that is, because it will spark you. It'll be something that really does ignite your path and your purpose. It won't feel stale. It won't feel stagnant. And I feel like there's a search. And I'm also hearing research team. Like, so with that, when I hear research team, it's like your guides right now. So your guides, your primary teams, are working right now to dispose of this old toxic waste with you. So this feels very coordinated, where you're disposing this toxic waste and to begin to find really what aligns for you, right? What aligns for you. And this is about the pathways opening up, allowing your teams to come in through this review to build a new pathway for yourself. No man is an island, right? And for myself, it's cool to hear this because my teams have been quiet. I'm like calling them, I'm like, guys, where are you? And they're like, motherfucker, chill. You good. And I feel like there's something that's being woven right now through this. Man, interesting, it's all reversals. So Seven of Swords in reverse. This is coming out of hiding. Going within and looking at where you're still isolating yourself from yourself. Where are you staying stagnant because that's a comfortable place to be, and where you're not allowing yourself freedom and flow in movement. This to me is I'm hearing interesting, because normally I'd hear no stone gets left unturned, but it's no blind eye gets unturned, right? So this is where you have your blinders on, the veils are going to be getting removed on that which you couldn't see from within your own life. And I feel like that's a part of this illumination too, because all of this to me is very much so inward journey right now rather than external focus. And it's where have you turned a blind eye on yourself? Like, where haven't you gifted yourself the recognition of all that you are? Where are you still in playing in self-defeat? Where might you still be playing in beating yourself up? But also recognizing what your worth is. Know your worth. And it's interesting because this 7 upside down, I'm seeing TLC. And, you know, TLC, and we're not talking about no scrubs or don't go chasing waterfalls. We're talking about tender loving care, right? And I feel like that this is another layer, another approach of where that tender loving care comes in our own lives, right? Like, how can we take better care of ourselves, truly? Because in the life paths that many of us have chosen, especially being a conscious creator, being a healer, being whatever XYZ framework we want to put on our own lives, It's about sustainability, right? And I feel like we all as a collective have been burning out pretty quickly in our fields, in our lives, in our family lives, and just collectively. You can see burnout is the thing. We kind of have this tendency in society, at least here in Western society, in Western civilization, to be driving like the NASCAR, right? Or driving like a Ferrari, and it's like 0 to 100 real quick. But as a result, the gas tank burns out, right? And it's like, it's kind of like, you know, it makes me think of this morning. I went to I had to go to the auto glass store with a friend, and we saw this old Cadillac. It was a 1972 Cadillac, and it was like a 474 engine in it, and the guy was like talking about how much it's a gas guzzler, right? And like, it's like, here's this really beautiful old vessel and this like really beautiful car, but it's a gas guzzler, right? And so it's looking at where you are wasting your valuable resources of your energy and of your love and your gifts, and you're putting it in places where it's not received. But also too, where are you burning out? Where are you, it's like, don't light the candle at both ends, right? And don't, because I'm seeing that now, like lighting the candle at both ends because you feel like, you know, double the pleasure, double the fun, right? Like, and it's like, no, slow it down. Slow it down. Let's burn it at one end, right? Because sometimes two fires like that, you know, existing on one playing field like that, it's gonna burn it up way too quickly. We're really stepping into the phase and era of sustainability, sustainable living, you know, sustainable technology, sustainable fuels, right? And I feel like that's all, we're gonna see that catch up collectively more as we begin to look at what sustainable means in our own lives in regards to food, nutrition, sustainable, I'm even hearing sustainable parenting. So some of you might be actually going through a review right now of like how you can become a better parent, either to your own children or to your own inner child. Like, because for those of us that are in that phase of like walking the journey alone right now, at least in the physical form, it might be about how we can begin sustainably reparenting the inner child and gifting the inner child what it needs. Man, all these reversals. Two of Swords in reverse. And I'm hearing welcome to the jungle. But this to me is like coming out of the jungle, right? This is coming out of the cosmic darkness, coming out of your black hole. But I'm also seeing this too right now as how these swords are coming down and guarding the womb. See how it's glowing orange? Fascinating. Okay. Interesting. And I feel like right now there's like a sacred guardianship of our womb space and our creation. And that's really cool because it's like, and I feel like that's a part of this reparenting thing is we're also now coming into what it means to guard our own creations, to guard our own life force energy, but to guard the seat of our soul. This is guarding our essence. And it's not like from a sense of like living in, so it's not about living in fear. When I think of guardianship, I think of honoring and respect. And so to me right now, this is coming through as honoring and respecting our soul essence, guarding and respecting our joy, and not allowing external situations to come in and to rob us or to steal us or to leave us with this black hole or that black pit in the sense of our stomach. This to me is almost speaking of the void as well, right? Like a complete emptying of our womb space and a full clearing so we can begin to ignite again with these passions that are going to fill up this level of joy, and this level of goodness. I'm hearing goodness and sweetness in our own life. And I really like that because I think goodness, sweetness, and the word delightful kind of bring in a whole new essence that's a little bit more playful. Like I see it as like a kid at a candy shop, right? And so then the question point for us in creations is, I'm even kind of like igniting, like, ooh, I like that, is like, what creates a level of sweetness on the palate that when we review what that would be in our own lives, it's just like, it's just, you know, fabuloso, you know. And I'm thinking of like Emerald Lagasse, bam, you know, bam. Being silly here, but that's the question then, is if we were to look at the words sweet, delightful, with a healthy curiosity, what brings that level of sweetness, brilliance into our life? Like, it's very astronomical, is the word coming through. Like, it's, but not astronomical in the sense where it's so out there that it's impossible. This is very much so, it's digestible, because the words of sweet and delightful and delectable almost is like, it's digestible, it's edible, especially when I'm thinking of the kids at the candy store. Like, it's palatable, we can taste it, right? So this is about a grounded approach to this. It's not going to be so far out there where it seems almost impossible, because I feel like it's good to have goals and dreams, and for some people that might drive them. But for those that are like really tired, that are really tired, some of those really big goals can seem almost so far out of reach that we almost reach a level of defeatist mentality, right? And so this is a preparation for the propulsion into those bigger goals that you have. But as a result, the universe is like, I want to sweeten you up a little bit. Like, I want to give you some things that you like and you enjoy. So, like, yeah, that creation is still going to come, but like, let's start to bring in some things that are going to begin to, how sweet it is to be loved by you. That just came through again. And so there might be love coming in, right? Loving friends, loving relationships, might even be a partner, to help sweeten up things a little bit, in a healthy way and in a balanced way, right? And this to me is also now coming through with a choice point. Okay, now I'm seeing the Two of Swords. It's a choice point. It's a cross point in your reality. Are you going to choose that in your life? Because when we have a review, then we start having a choice. Are we going to start to make those changes, right? Because it's okay if you don't. It's okay if you don't. But when we're building new pathways, we have to start choosing those things that are beautiful and sweet for ourselves. Like, what's up, Crow? We got a raven here squawking messengers. What's up, messenger? 6. So it cawed 6 times. This to me is telling me like 6 and 4. Don't worry about your foundations. 6, 4, 3. Don't worry about your foundations. There's something holy about your foundations. Back to 4, yeah, okay. 6, 4, 3, 4. Oh my gosh, this raven just won't stop. I'm done counting. So with that message, thank you, Crow. Thank you. It's chatty today. You chatty, boo. Okay. 6, 4, 3 comes out to 13. So that's really coming back into the essence of magic, and it's coming back into the essence of the divine feminine. 13 is a very interesting number, because some people might see it as unlucky, others would see it as extremely lucky. I see 13 as very lucky, actually. So there's something about magic in the air. There's magic in the air. There's magic in there. Thank you, I get you. It just wants, now it's like, oh, you know I'm here? I want to send 3 messages for you. Do you want me to call in a message for you? Okay. All right, Raven. Hangman upside down. Reverse. This is very much so the energy of today. I get it. I'm bringing through the message. All right, so the Raven wants to send a message. So, Raven, how many times do you want me to shuffle? Okay, 6. 1. 2. 3. Mother of Cups, 7 of Pentacles. 4. Okay, Raven, what say you? Son of Cups. Spark up your life. And it's interesting, so I see you. The swan, to me, last night I had an encounter with a dragon, and this dragon turned into a swan. This is really about emotional fulfillment and emotional flow for me. The energy is moving upwards, right? So it's reminding us to seek higher ground and higher wisdom, right? But it's also to find grace in our own lives. For some reason, the swan wants to come through as grace and as flow. but it's really noting the upper trajectory regardless of how you feel. You might feel stuck. You might feel like time is unnecessary. Yeah, I'm hearing time is unnecessary. Thank you. There is no time. Remembering that there is no time. This is about patience, but it's also noting that you're on an upward path right now, even if you don't feel like it, right? Because sometimes our especially when we go through like a quantum jump, which happened to me last night. I had a grasshopper hop on my knee, and when a grasshopper comes to me and lands on my knee, that means it's a quantum jump. So we're accelerating our own internal union, but we're also cool. I like that. Thank you. We're accelerating our own internal union, but also the elevation that occurred was such a quick jump that you might not even know that you elevated, right? So if you had like an overnight like kablow like I did, you might be waking, you might be feeling like, what? Like I what? Because when you like completely land in a whole new universe, some things don't really, you got to go through the integration. Let's put it that way. You got to go through the integration to get there. Oh, I love this. Two of Wands. This to me is Rainbow Road, Rainbow Bridge, but it's also that there's a pathway, a uniting pathway that's occurring. And if we look at the flow of the energies, this pathway from beneath is coming up, and that's what's shining through the cup, right? So whatever this essence is for ourselves, Gaian energy, right? We could see, to me, I'm seeing this flowing all upwards right now, right? Is this energy is coming up, and pretty soon it's going to spill out of the cup, and it's actually going to come out of the void. If you see that the cup is black and then the tips of it are all rainbow shine right now, it's that like while you might feel like you're in this black hole or in this liminal space, it's all coming up and through and out, and we might not be able to perceive or witness this colorful essence of ourselves right now. But coming back to this, right? This is the portal and the passageway. This is almost the cup to me, right? And this is why we need to go within and find this colorful essence within us, because it's there. It's just waiting to be tapped into. Gaian focused journey, Gaian focused revelation. And I love all of these rainbow tones coming through. And it's like, to me, with all the black and the gray, with these little, like, so here, but I feel like if we were to see this as kind of like behind here, behind the curtain, right? People might see you as this black and white, or you might perceive yourself as black and white or dualistic, right? But like, there's all this like rainbow elegance, and it's like, and I'm hearing Adventure of a Lifetime by Coldplay, turn your magic on, right? And it's like, yo, your magic's there, just get her done. And it seems like actually the crow's letting me know that if we see all these energies are very fiery, red, yellows, and orange, you know, lower three of the body in the chakra system, right? And now I'm hearing gold lion's gonna tell me where the light is, right? And I feel like this is a lead up to the new moon, because, you know, I want to say new moon because I have my own belief systems regarding the 8-8 gateway that I'm not going to get into right now because I just don't feel like I need to. But a lot of us that have been doing gatekeeping for a while know how portals work, and they're not timed on synchronistic numerical days. It's an energetic and vibrational thing that exists outside of time. But this, to me, when I hear gold line is going to tell me where the light is, it's wanting me to say to you, Leo season ain't over, baby. Leo season ain't over. The best is yet to come. This is about patience, holding on to, this is about holding on and knowing that this is within you. Like this beautiful world, this beautiful magical world that you're squeezing into right now, it's within you. But there's a flow and there's a direction to that. Like if you see, it's organized in it, right? There's a flow. It's an upward flow. It's an upward momentum, right? And that upward momentum and that upload, it's coming from deep within. We could almost see it Gaian focused, Gaia up. And I feel like it's being birthed from within this empty womb space right now. And so to just trust that you're gestating, like the bread is in the oven, baby, right? This is like, if we were to talk about parenting, maybe some of you are pregnant, right? Pregnant with potential, pregnant with new ideas. And to not stress on it, like the spark of insight, right? That flash inside of us will happen. And when it does, you'll know the arrival of it, right? And then on the bottom of the deck is the star, right? So the underlying theme is there's this cosmic portal that's opening up within us, which is the womb space. And look at all these beautiful rainbow tones coming through. I mean, even here, Daughter of Pentacles coming through with the rainbows, right? It's like your rainbow baby is being born. And if some of you know about this already, about the baby dragons, okay? If you know about the baby dragons, then you know. I'll do a message about the baby dragons later. I haven't dissected it enough, but there's a whole thing with baby dragons happening. Your rainbow baby is being born from within you. Your rainbow child, okay? Your rainbow dragon from within, it's coming to life right now, okay? So that's exciting to know. And this to me is really coming through right now, because it just wants to with the rainbow tones, is that this return to innocence is happening through this gestation phase and through this void experience. And to know that your return to innocence is here, okay? Your return to innocence is here. Your new birth is occurring. But that new birth is not a B-I-R-T-H, it's a B-E-A-R-T-H. It's a new birth, new birth, new earth that's being born from within you right now. And to just know that you're gestating on that process. Still find out, because I'm hearing the toxins and the pollutants right now. Make sure you're taking a moment to clear your life of toxic thoughts, toxic memories, toxic people, toxic substances if you can, and to just take a moment to purify the container to prepare for what is coming in your life and being birthed from within you in this now moment. And it's really about, you know, when a seed is planted, right, and you're beginning to care for it, it really is about daily maintenance and care. Just provide. It's all you got to do is nurture it. And I'm hearing is all that you have is your soul. And that's a song by Tracy Chapman. And it's just stay in your integrity of your soul. Stay with the integrity of your essence, of your higher self, whatever you choose so mote it be to discuss it as, your soul signature, your soul spark, your unified soul essence. Keep honoring that and that truth, and things will align. There's not much you have to do other than just be and keep really caring for that seed within you, and it will plant and it will flourish. All right, so love you guys. Much love and respect to everyone out there. I wish you all a fabulous day, and I'll say this message definitely helped me a lot to kind of just like unpack and move through some things, and to shift some energy and to step in just to a little bit of creation, so we can have fun doing that. I do need to find my tripod though, because I don't like this angle. It just feels weird. But I want to thank you guys for continually supporting, for sticking around, for doing the do and being the be, and just being good and kind and gentle to yourselves, okay? So I will see you guys soon. Ciao.